here are some examples of gentle parenting from the parent's POV. And most of the time, they only show when it's successful, so a lot of this will be sweet and calm and happy. Anyway, here we go.
Please, I know you feel angry, but I won't let you hit DJ. I won't let you hit Feifei. I know you feel angry. You can use your word to tell us what do you want or how do you feel. Now you still want to go down and you still want to play with your sister? We will need to ask her if she wants to play with you. We can go down together and ask her. Okay?
So that is just one gentle parenting example. A lot of it is getting low on the ground, closer to your kid's level. There's not a lot of disciplining, but it's more solution-oriented, I would say. And like I said at the beginning, I don't disagree with all of the tenets of gentle parenting. I'm just not sure if the result of all of this is really working in our favor, because that was nice. It seems like the kid possibly understood. I don't know if there was any disciplining that happened beforehand, because if a child hit another child, I don't really think the solution is just to say it's all okay and I'm going to give you a hug now and we'll go back downstairs. So I hope that there was some disciplining. But as you can see, these videos have thousands and thousands and thousands of likes. People love them. They get all emotional. One person said, y'all, I grew up with the I'll give you a reason to cry parents and now I'm jealous. There's a lot of people that are wishing they had been raised like this. Here's another example of it working that went viral.
You gotta stop sliding it because then it tips over sometimes and that happens.
I will not push it, Mommy.
You're not gonna push it?
Yeah.
Why not?
I'm telling that.
Hey, absolutely not. You want it to swing. When you're feeling that way, you need to communicate that with your words, okay?
Is it okay if I swing? I really want to swing. But that would okay.
You silly boy. Ow! No, we don't bite, Mama. That hurts. If you need something to bite, you gotta ask Mama. Say, Mama, bite!
Bite!
Yeah. Mama,
This family's big in the gentle parenting influencer sphere.
Excuse me, I need some attention. You need some attention? Yeah.
That was me as a kid, though. I would walk in and be like, Mother, I need a hug. I was like a major hugger. And I think then when it translates into teachers not even being able to control their own classrooms because these students are totally out of control, then it's like, obviously, there is no discipline happening at home. So I think these videos paint a very sweet picture about a lot of this. And I think when it comes to like biting something or tipping a cup off of a counter, like that's very easy to talk through.
We just watched Brett Cooper, newlywed. I don't know if she's a parent, but definitely not one that is experienced. If so, frequently going after people, after things. And in this video, I didn't really see a point that she made or was trying to make. I know she and others at the Daily Wire try to just attack woke, which is cool if that's what they want to do. But we saw gentle parenting. Now, there are aspects of this that I've seen go around that I think are interesting. I think that there's aspects that are terrible. We only saw right now a couple clips of, as she mentioned, that parenting style working. So I want to ask you, what's the first thing on your mind when you see that video?
The attack against what's called gentle parenting. Because what's the correlate to gentle parenting? Harsh parenting. If you look on the dictionary, what's opposite of gentle? Harsh. No child should ever be treated harshly. And many people watching those videos will think, well, that means I should hit my kid, or I should lock them in their room, or I should, tell them they can't leave the house for 3 weeks after school. That's harsh parenting. That is not a solution. What we want to achieve is effective parenting that achieves the goal of raising a child into being a proper adult and enjoying the journey along the way. So I think Brett is going to be a fantastic parent. I think she's quite young and recently married. And I think she has a beautiful soul and a good heart, and she's sincere, and I wish her well. I've raised 7 children and brought them into adulthood, and all of them have married. And that doesn't make me an expert in parenting, but I could say I have some experience in that area, as well as my professional knowledge and experience that I've acquired. The problem here is it's not the correlate that you need harsh parenting as a better approach than gentle parenting. Harsh parenting is horrible. Harsh parenting means, to some people anyways, maybe hitting the kids, locking them up, restricting them, restraining them. That's not a goal. And not only is not a goal, it should be avoided at all costs. What we're looking for is effective parenting. What will take the child down the road, enjoying the journey to being a respectful and successful adult and being happy and satisfied with his or her life. With the clips that Brett showed that I observed, these are parents who are trying to reason with their children. Yes, it is very nice and respectable and admirable. Unfortunately, at that very tender age, and I don't know exactly how old the children were in that clip, but they look to me to be either 2 years old or 3 years old, somewhere around there. Children don't understand. They don't have the capacity. They don't have the brain cells to comprehend when you talk to them. Children are essentially emotional beings, so they respond to emotions. So sometimes they know what is right and wrong, good and bad, or how to behave by the emotion that you communicate to them. If you talk to them in a sweet way and try to reason with them, Mommy really loves you, but don't bite Mommy, because if you bite Mommy, I'm going to get a boo-boo, and I might even have to go to the doctor, and he might have to give me a shot. Mommy hates shots. Do you think you can not bite Mommy anymore? That isn't going to register in the mind of a 2 or a 3-year-old. What will register is something along the, ouch, you hurt Mommy. Ow, this hurts. I'm going to cry. That will register in the mind of a 2 or a 3-year-old. Do you want Mommy to play with you? If you do, don't bite me. And when you go to school, don't bite your friends. They won't want to play with you. That will register in the mind of a 3-year-old. Not some sort of academic discussion about being reasonable with your parent.
Where's this coming from, that parents think that they need to be treating their 2-year-old and 3-year-old like a grown kid that can talk?
Like an adult. It should be that adults are also reasonable. That's the premium adult, that he or she is reasonable. Where does it come from? I think that's just because of social media and the internet. Everybody's a rock star. Everybody could be a rock star, or at least everybody aspires to be a rock star. And some of these videos that we're watching could be they only get 20, 30 people watching them. But for whatever reason, we stumbled on it, and this is what we're talking about. So it doesn't even mean that this person's necessarily an influencer. But if you get somebody who is an established expert in parenting, Google's algorithm serves that up. And right next to it, and you have to make a choice, is this video by Brett talking about what I would say what she's talking about is harsh parenting rather than gentle parenting. That's just the natural implication, even though she doesn't use the words, or maybe I didn't see enough of it for her to hear what she says the alternative to gentle parenting is. But most people aren't going to listen to a long video anyways. But you could see this next to an expert like Piaget, who's a famous child professional, wrote books, and he's a classic in every child psychologist doctor's office is Piaget. That video shows up right next to Brett's video, and maybe her face is a smiley, cute face, so I select Brett and listen to her and think her advice is equal to the world famous and renowned expert Piaget. And so there's so much misinformation. That's what you're asking. There is so much misinformation. It takes an expert to discern what is good, what is bad, what is true, what is false, what is useful, what is unuseful. The lay population can't determine by listening to Brett and for 5 minutes Piaget, who may be very boring because he's an academic. I don't think he's alive now, but let's say somebody puts together something that he did. That doesn't help. You end up with misinformation. Oh, I can't be a gentle parent. Well, I better be a harsh parent. So next time my kid bites me, I'm going to slap his hand. Disaster. Horrible. Because a child needs to trust a parent. And if you're harsh with a parent, you totally confuse and destroy the child.
That's the eventual consequences of just calling everything woke without talking about why. And I think, like, when you're talking about, well, if you're if you're saying this is bad, then technically logic would say you're suggesting the opposite, because we didn't hear any solutions, right? Like we're talking about here, you're saying why it's not working. You're not saying this is going to make a classroom bad and make the world a worse place. The thing that I'm hearing is really that there's actually very positive motivation behind what these parents on those videos were doing. It just falls short. Might be their own idea that they came up with. It falls short when it comes to, it's like, fortunately at 2 years old, us humans are not capable of understanding. As you mentioned, the examples are very clear. When I talk to my bearded dragon, he doesn't know what I'm saying. And so if I tell him to stop it, it's not going to work. And so I think that's where some of these fine lines come down to.
And eventually what happens, if I wouldn't call it gentle parenting, I would call it passive parenting. And what happens with passive parenting, or any passive behavior, in contrast to assertive behavior, passive behavior or passive parenting will at some point flip to its opposite, which is aggressive parenting or aggressive interaction between two people. People who don't know how to be assertive tend to bounce from sucking it up to blowing it up. So it's the same thing here. That mother will talk to her child 10 times about not biting mommy. I already explained to you 10 times. How long do you think mommy has to wait for you to stop biting her? Look at my arm. It's got 30 bandages on it. The next day, she literally, I don't know what she does. She puts them on the front porch and locks the door, and the kid is traumatized for life.
Exactly.
Or calls up her husband and said, this effing kid is yours. Take him. I can't take him anymore. Get him out of my sight. And the kid overhears this.
Yeah. So it's effective parenting versus aggressive versus gentle versus passive versus anything. So we'll get more into that in other videos.
Yeah. Effective because you have to have a goal. What are you trying to achieve with your child? Your goal as a parent is to educate them, keep them healthy, keep them alive and doing well, keep them happy, content, and to educate them. Educating is the primary goal of a parent, a good parent. So how do I take him or her from A to B? Well, it's not by talking to a 3-year-old like they're a 30-year-old. And it's not by hitting them and treating them like I don't know, you shouldn't hit anybody like some sort of enemy that's invading your country.